Blog Talk Radio.
Sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff.
And liftoff on this Sunday, January 19th, 2020. I'm Dax Carlisle, coming to you live from Tucson, Arizona. And joining me, the fabulous Mary Brown. Hey, Mary.
Hey, Dax. Yes, we have liftoff. Oh, I love hearing that tune. Takes me back 10 years ago, I guess. Really, right? I love it. It feels good.
Doesn't it feel good? It actually, it's amazing, really. Talk about nostalgia, you know. If you were tuning in on January 20th, 2010, for the first episode of our first ever radio show, Tarot Today Radio, that's what you would have heard. That was our old intro music, and it's a section of a track on the album Tarot called The Fool. There's actually 22 tracks. There's one track for each of the major arcana cards in the tarot deck, and the album Tarot was composed by Canadian composer Rajan Paquin. And in fact, you can see it on the new Tarot Guild website. If you go over to thetarotguild.com/music, it'll pop up, and there's links there where you can go and listen to it. You can download tracks. You can buy the whole album. It's thetarotguild.com/music. So that's our first surprise of the day. So for those of you that have been around for the last 10 years, you'll remember that music. And that's what we're... Yeah.
I remember it, and I remember so many of us on the Tarot Guild getting the album too. You know, it's like, oh my gosh, a tune for every major arcana card. You know, like, it was so cool, and it's still cool. And that particular track, The Fool. I mean, literally, you can just like visualize like that sort of carefree, you know, movement of the Fool. I love it. This is so fun. I'm having fun already, and we just started.
Yeah, we're kind of revitalizing, Rajan's album here, bringing it back. It's like, hey, everybody, It's 10 years later, go check this out because the music held up. All the tracks are fantastic. I love the High Priestess on there as well. And I used to use that. I think I use that for some of the outro music sometimes, and even some intros on some of the shows way back in the day. So, yeah, we're having a special on-air party. We are celebrating, are you ready for this, folks? 10 years on air.
Yay! It's amazing.
I can't believe that. Where did the last 10 years go, Mary?
I don't know, and it's so funny because it just feels like it went by really fast, but it was like so damn packed with so many different things. I mean, my gosh, I think about it. I think the first show I did on the Tarot Guild was the Hollywood Insiders show, and would you remember that? And then, my gosh, because I was thinking of this. Okay, I'm like, okay, I would Hollywood Insider show. I was on the Angels Monday show, and then did There's a Rock for That. And I was just like, my gosh, we did a lot in 10 years when you think of all the different shows and all the different topics covered, all the different guests that we've had. I mean, it's amazing.
Oh, yeah. It's incredible. I mean, we had Mary Greer on, Rachel Pollack, the Amber Stones. Every year we did a special show about the Reader's Studio. We had, I think, I want to say our very first guest was either Janet Boyer or James Rickliff. We had them both on in the very beginning there. And, even some of our hosts that are still on the network have been around that long, like Maria G. Moss and yourself as well. Yeah. So, and I know we've got some people calling in. I think actually Maria's calling in here. We're going to bring her on in a second. We also have Sharon Rapseek, one of our newest hosts, is on, and we've got some callers. We are a live call-in show, so in addition to celebrating, you can call in and chat with us. You can wish us another 10 great years and call in. Yeah, and get a mini reading, too. You get a mini reading. Call in at 714-816-4628. Remember to press 1 on your dial pad so we know that you want to be live on air with us. Once again, that number, 714-816-4628. If you're Skyping in, open the dial pad on your Skype app and press 1. That tells us you want to be live on air. If you don't want to be live on air, you just want to listen to the show by calling in, just don't press 1. There you go. Real simple. We're also in the chat room. I'm in here. I'm chatting with JS right now. He said he's calling in. It's thetarotguild.com/chat. That's thetarotguild.com/chat. And, of course, today's show is sponsored by the Tarot Guild. Our Friday and Saturday shows always are. And we have that's another surprise is that 10 years ago tomorrow, my mom's birthday, by the way, folks, January 20th.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday, Mom. Not only did we launch our very first radio show, Tarot Today Radio, we also officially launched the very first Tarot Guild website. We started building it in 2009. We had about 500 people on it before we officially launched, just to get things warmed up. And we built it on the Ning network. And then a few years later, we decided to do a Facebook page, which, by the way, is still there on Facebook, Tarot Guild. Just look it up. 5,500-something members. And we decided to build a static WordPress website and do Facebook because everybody was going on Facebook. You can remember 2009. Twitter was getting it just came on. Facebook was getting big, And so, it was a few years before we did that, but maybe 2007 or 6 or 8, I can't remember now. But we had that static website, which was, the Ning platform was a full-on, Facebook for tarot. It had all the bells and whistles and everything you have on social media. And we went to a static website, moved on to Facebook, but that server crashed and that website crashed. So guess what? We built a brand new website and we built it on Ning again because our members told us, Mary, we want a community social networking website, right?
Oh yeah, I was one of those people. I'm like, I miss the forums because to me that was the greatest thing, like connecting to so many people, and I learned so much, because I think, prior to that, I know, the Tarot Guild started as a meetup in San Diego, but I feel like, really prior to the guild website for me, it was just like. I'd maybe encounter people that were into tarot. You kind of were kind of on your own a bit. You and your books, and occasionally, if you were lucky enough to be somewhere where people taught classes, or you could, but it wasn't like you could connect and find out how many different ways people use tarot. Find out, that there was more than just a couple decks out there. That was a revelation to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at all these beautiful decks. And, it was through the Tarot Guild that I discovered Ciro Marchetti's work and fell in love with the Gilded Tarot. And, what's funny is we're doing, all this anniversary for the Tarot Guild and for the radio shows as well. And Ciro is about to release this year a new version of the Gilded Tarot. So I feel like all these anniversaries are kind of coinciding. Like for some reason, 2020 is the year where it's like it's all coming back and better than ever.
It's all coming together. Gilded was the first deck that I got from Ciro Marchetti, and I love all of his decks. It's just amazing stuff. Wow.
Yeah.
And so yes, forums, there was the great eclectic forums, and then, they closed their doors, and so we figured that we need something like that again. And so on the new Tarot Guild website, it's 100% free to join. Just go over to thetarotguild.com, and you can join, sign up for free, just like you did if you were around 10 years ago and you joined the first main website. And we've got live chat, we've got groups, forums, activity feeds, just like you find on Facebook, adding friends, private messaging, your own customizable profile page. We have a certified readers directory. We've got videos and events, and you name it. Updates, status updates like people do. Only instead of Facebook, we don't have any of the negative Facebook stuff. It's all tarot all the time. thetarotguild.com. That's exciting too. And we've got more surprises for you. In fact, Mary, we should
yes.
before we bring on some of our fabulous hosts that are joining us as guests and callers and things like that, we want to announce that we're going to do something else in celebration of our 10th anniversary of being on radio. And Mary and I have on the network been doing Psychic Talk, our Psychic Saturday show on the Psychic Talk radio network for, God, how long now, Mary? A couple years?
Yeah,
how long has it been?
So. Almost
Something
2
like
years,
that?
I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And what we thought was, wouldn't it be cool if we brought back the title of our first ever radio show 10 years ago and changed the name for our Saturday show to Tarot Today Radio?
Yay! I'm so excited about it. It feels so right,
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm so excited. It's breaking news.
Woo.
That's right. That's right. Breaking news on the air. We're changing the name. Now, of course, nothing's really ultimately changing. It's going to be Mary and I. We're going to be on Saturdays, same time, doing the same thing, but we're going to focus even more on tarot, and the new title is going to be Tarot Today Radio. We're bringing it back. I'm so excited, Mary.
Me too.
This is so fun.
Too.
This is so fun. And
to make it
even, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that I don't know how other people that were, around, back in the day, have felt about it, but really I have felt like something has just been kind of missing. It's like the landscape is like a little less exciting, and now that the Tarot Guild site is back, it's like, oh, wait a minute, it's like springtime, even though we're in the middle of winter, and the same thing with the Tarot Today show. It's like, all right, I feel, and I'm sure a lot of the Tarot Guild members out there, may be experiencing the same thing, like we're going through waves of nostalgia, but at the same time, it's like now it feels like everything's back in place again. It feels like we've got our community back, and we've got that ability to connect and create together and discover new things. I'm so excited about all this.
Awesome stuff. And hey, to get a different perspective on that, and find out what other people think, somebody that has been around literally since that beginning and joined us on radio is Maria G. Moss. And why don't we bring Maria on here? Are you there, Maria?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, Dax. Hi, Mary. Congratulations.
Hi, Maria.
Dax. Hi. This is really exciting because just like Mary said in the beginning, when I heard that music playing, I was like, oh, my God, did it take me back?
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's great, isn't it? And it's so, like, it gives you that giddy feeling. That song always gave me that sort of, like, I'm going to hop around and dance.
Well, I just have to say, thank you to Dax because I truly appreciate you and all your hard work and everything you've done, because you opened up a whole new world to me that who knows if I ever would have gotten involved in if it hadn't been for you, because I never would have thought of, doing any live radio. I mean, I would have been like, what, are you out of your mind, me, doing live radio? And you're the one that made that all happen, And if it wasn't that you put together the Tarot Guild and Tarot Today Radio and launched that program, I don't think I would be enjoying this wonderful, I call it a hobby, but it's also, it's become a side profession for me from my public school teaching. And so many things have come out of it, and I owe a big thanks to you, Dax, for bringing us all together.
Well, thank you. And yes, so many people got their start with the Tarot Guild when you look back, and it's really great. We're in our 16th year now. We just had our 15th anniversary. October 31st, Halloween 2004, we launched the Tarot Guild, but we didn't go international. We didn't go online with the website. As I said, I started building it around the second half or the last quarter of 2009, and then we officially launched it along with the radio show on my mom's birthday, January 20th, 2010. And I had no intention to do that, by the way. And this is a great story for those that don't know about it.
I have to jump in and say a big happy birthday to your mom, Dax, because without her, we wouldn't have you, and we wouldn't have the Tarot Guild and all Tarot Today Radio and all of the radio shows that came after that, thanks to it.
It's like dominoes falling. You got to have everything in place. And so we had the Tarot Guild. We decided to take it international. If you want to hear the whole story, listen to yesterday's show. Probably one of the best shows that Dr. Rose Wilkerson and I ever did. We went an hour and a half. We were having so much fun. Oh, my God, the callers, the information and the tips and the resources that we gave out on yesterday's show, along with the story of the Tarot Guild, 15 years later, and, how it got started in the beginning and all the details. Listen to yesterday's show when you get a chance. Friday the, what was that, the 17th? Actually,
it was your
the
Friday
day before
show,
yesterday.
Actually, I think. Yeah, yesterday was Saturday.
I keep forgetting because I'm on with Mary that it's not Saturday. We moved it to Sunday
right.
because the anniversary is tomorrow. Yeah. So, I gave that story, and then, we built the website to go international and get out there, and we figured, hey, well, we got a website, we have the organization going. People are going to want to know what's going on. Let's do a newsletter. And I remember I was on Twitter chatting with a bunch of people. This is when Twitter was just getting going and was super popular. It was the new thing on the block, It wasn't, just Trumpville, and and
when it was cool.
Yeah. And so, we're chatting, and I was talking about the newsletter, and I was asking people, hey, what do you want in the newsletter? Now that we have the website and everything, and they said, no, don't do a newsletter. Newsletters are passé. Now, what you need to do is a radio show. And I was like, what? A radio show? Now, I had listened to some tarot podcasts. There was a few around back then, and some of them were on Blog Talk, and I really liked it, and I had been listening to talk radio for like 30 years. So, I mean, George Norrie and Art Bell, and I was up many nights till 2 or 3 in the morning, listening to the
Coast to coast.
Coast to Coast, the paranormal shows. They would talk about tarot and numerology and UFOs and Bigfoot and everything else. And I knew how they did radio by listening to them for 30 years, and I thought, hey, maybe I can do radio. I don't know. I've never done it. But I had a couple of friends doing a tarot radio show, and so I talked to them about it, and they told me the ins and outs. And then the next month, that was December 2009, and 2 weeks later, we launched Tarot Today Radio. So that's how that happened. It wasn't even supposed to happen, folks. I was just going to do a newsletter for the Tarot Guild, and we ended up instead with a radio show which blossomed into a radio network and into 3 other radio networks. Psychic Talk Radio is actually our 5th radio network. We've aired maybe 30 different radio shows over the last 10 years. It's just amazing.
It is.
And many of, you had several hosts actually that have gone on and to do their own shows, and their own network. So, you have to applaud you for that. So, you introduced this type work to a lot of people. There's a lot of folks out there doing radio who wouldn't be doing it if it weren't for you.
I know folks, got their start in radio and podcasting through us. Others have written books, published decks that started out on the Tarot Guild Ning site with Mary and you, Maria, and me. And remember my first host, my first co-host on Tarot Today, Mark Reed. And
right, yes, Reed. I do.
He was hilarious.
Yeah, it's been 6 years since I left San Diego, and I have never heard from him, so I don't know what's going on. Anyway,
I was going to say, have you heard from him? I mean, what's he up to?
No.
Maybe he'd like to come on one day as a guest and shoot the breeze.
God, that
and
would
reminisce.
be amazing.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be it. Yeah, I wish I could have gotten him for today's show, but hey, maybe he'll hear this, or someone will tell him in San Diego, tell Mark Reed, to get in contact with us so we can get him on air. I don't even have a phone number for him anymore. But, a lot of people that were just, interested in tarot, and they found the Tarot Guild Ning website, came on the Tarot Guild site, joined the Tarot Guild, and then before you know it, they're writing their own books. They're publishing decks. They're, getting on the radio. I mean, that happened for both of you, getting onto the radio, and Maria's produced courses. She's written books. I mean, it's just phenomenal what's happened.
Right. It's so exciting, and this brings it all back how it started. It started, just doing something I enjoyed, and then it snowballed into a whole production. I mean, now I'm still running the International Association of Angel Practitioners, the IAAP, at angelpractitioners.com. All of that came from the Tarot Guild and Tarot Today Radio. And this is just, a note out there for anybody who's maybe new getting into tarot and maybe has some hesitation about it because maybe they've been told stories about tarot being evil and all sorts of things. It couldn't be any farther from the truth. Tarot is actually what got me started to working with angels. That's what really snowballed that.
Isn't that amazing?
That for me, yes. So, there's so much good in it. Nothing but good has come from it. I met so many fantastic people. I met you, Dax. I met Mary. I met Sharona, who's waiting in the wings here, no pun intended. Remember Jean Morey? I mean, that with the Angels Monday show, and then that's how I started doing the show with you two. So there's so much good that has come from it.
Maggie Lukowski. Yeah, what I did? Yeah, Maria, you're going to love this. You know what I did is I went on to the old channels, and I went through and literally there was 900 radio shows on one channel and 1,000 on the other channel. That's all the shows that we all did. And I went back to the very, 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 very beginning, and I actually started a list. I have a list going right now that has you and Mary on it, and James Rickliff, and Janet Boyer, and Maggie, and Jean Morey, and all the guests and hosts. Starting from the very beginning, I started to create an entire list. And now that we are Tarot Today Radio again, we want to go through that list, and Mary and I are going to start bringing people back on that have been guests and hosts.
I love it.
Isn't that great? Oh, my God.
No, it's awesome. It's so much fun.
I wanted to mention that the caller lines are starting to fill up, so if you're thinking of calling in and chatting with us, do it now, folks. 714-816-4628. We had a little bit of a technical snafu in the beginning there. Blog Talk Radio was having problems with its phone lines. We actually had to delete this show and recreate it and start it again so that people could call in. And, if you think about it, over the years, Mary and Maria, we've had technical problems, but it's really, if you really think of it in the scheme of things, of doing, several thousand shows, that it's only been a handful of times that we've had problems. And, is the universe, this is my question, is the universe doing a cosmic joke on us because this is our 10th anniversary show and this is the one show we need to go without a hitch, and we have technical problems in the beginning with the phone lines?
They're just texting you. How much do you really want it? They make the universe, whatever you want to call it, God, the universe, the angels, they make you work for what you really want.
We made it happen, though.
I think, and I think it's like, it's part of that nostalgia. It's like, hey, remember the technical difficulties?
Right. Yeah. Part of it, too. You know what? They have, I believe that the angels and the universe, I believe that there's a sense of humor there. And they're like, let's mess with them a little bit.
And every time Mercury retrograde would come around, we would be holding, our fingers crossed, both hands behind our back. It's like, please, no technical problems because of Mercury retrograde. Well, let's move the show along here. Remember, call in 714-816-4628. I also want to bring on one of our other hosts is joining us to say, happy 10 years on the air. None other than one of our newest radio hosts, Sharona Rapsik. Actually, you're not that new, but in the scheme of things, 10 years, Sharona, you are. But hi, Sharona.
Hi, Sharona.
Hey, everybody. Hey, so good to be here on the big celebration.
Hi, Sharona.
Hey.
Happy New Year to all. I want to say that, too.
Oh, yeah. Say that. Happy New Year, everyone.
The New Year.
Happy New Year.
Absolutely. And, Sharona is another one of those examples of where, she came on the network as, just kind of like a fill-in guest host. Then she ended up co-hosting with Maria on Angelic Realms. And then she spun off her own radio show, and created a course along the way, Angel Reiki along the way, and how it snowballs with everybody, Maria.
It's incredible, and it just makes me have this sense of knowing that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, because that when you're going with the flow and you're going with what God and angels and spirit, whatever you want to call it, wants you to do. Yes, sometimes they do test you here and there, but for the most part, doors will open. The right person will cross your path that can influence the direction that you're going in, and one thing leads to another. So I truly believe that we're all supposed to be doing this.
Yeah, and I actually got to be the guest on Sharona's show. I love that. Now I'm a guest. Sharona, how are you liking doing your own show, Magic Universe?
Oh, I absolutely love it. I feel that It has, I found my voice as far as being able to, put out to the world the things that I feel that have empowered me, and also providing a place where I can bring all of us light workers together. So I feel that you have set me on my life mission, and that's really good. But I want to thank you and especially Maria for mentoring me. Anyone who's thinking of doing a radio program, I really encourage them to look into our little network of Psychic Talk Radio and the network, and because it gives you you give us training wheels, and so you do a tremendous service to anyone who is thinking about doing a radio program. So thank you so much, Dax and Maria and Mary, and it's a whole tribe of us working together. So if you're thinking of doing a radio show, you know where to go,
Sharona.
and you know where to call.
Yeah. I'm really glad you brought that up, because we have to rewind back 10 years ago. 10 years ago tomorrow, and we launched Tarot Today Radio. We had no idea it was going to go in this direction. It was a radio show just for the Tarot Guild, just for tarot enthusiasts, tarot lovers, students, professionals. Bring on all of the guests and the authors and the deck creators, and just talk a lot of tarot. That was the idea. But then it blossomed into so much more, and we realized that there's a lot of people that they want to do this, but they're not that technical. They're worried about having to do everything themselves, the banners and the behind the scenes work and setting up the shows, not to mention websites and posts about the shows and all that kind of stuff. So we figured out early on we could do this for everybody else. And originally the idea was just to help our Tarot Guild members that wanted to do this as part of their professional work, so it was mostly tarot people at first. We branched out into, angels, and then with Psychic Talk, it's, everything psychic. So you just don't know where it's going to go and how many lives you're going to touch and be able to help. What do you think, Mary?
I agree, and I think that even beyond that, what's really interesting, and I see this a lot, and I was kind of in the same boat when I first joined the Tarot Guild, is that I thought about it as, it was something I'd always done since I was a teenager, but I never thought of being able to do it as a profession, to become a professional tarot reader and to, be able to really make a living at it. And that was like the biggest impact it had on me. And through the Tarot Today radio show, through the forums on the Tarot Guild, I just felt like really supported and really encouraged to take a chance and just see, because I think prior to that, like, I just lacked the confidence. I was just like, oh, no, that's like what other people do. I couldn't really do that as for a living.
That's
and
a
make
big
that
part of it, yeah.
Yeah, and, I know a lot of, new readers out there or readers that aren't that new. They've just kind of been doing it for themselves or for their friends or whatever. A lot of times, they can't imagine that it could become, their career, that it could become their life's work. And that was like kind of the biggest difference. And it's been such a huge gift to me. I mean, I've always loved tarot, but I love doing it every day now. And that's one thing that I think, is such a huge benefit of the Tarot Guild and the Tarot Today radio, because you get to hear from so many different people that are doing it, and so many people have different approaches to it. And so you find out that, maybe if you read tarot differently than, you know, somebody tells you you're supposed to, you might find that you're not alone in doing that, and that we all have our own approach, and so you feel like supported in that and validated.
Yeah, that's a big part of it, and you know why the website and the forums were such a big thing was because prior to that, I know I had a lot of people contact me after we launched the first Tarot Guild Ning website and said, you know, thank you so much for creating this platform, because prior to this, you know, I'm in the middle of Idaho or Iowa or something like that, you know, or they're down in the in the Bible Belt. They can't even talk to anybody about tarot. They don't know anybody else besides themselves that are into tarot. And, you know, suddenly there was this platform where they could get on with like-minded people and have discussions, you know, live in the chat or in the forums and so forth. And, hey, you know, let's just shout that out now. You know, we're open for business again, folks. You know, it's 100% free to join the brand new Tarot Guild website that we've built for you. It's a social networking community website with forums and groups and everything. And we're just getting started. It's literally in the infancy. You can get in on the ground floor. It's free to join. thetarotguild.com. You can pop on there, start doing forum posts and talking with other people and putting your thoughts and ideas about tarot out there. And, you know, let's make it a community again. That's my theory.
Yes. I agree.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Well, I'm looking on the switchboard, and I notice another of our hosts is calling in, Dr. Rose Wilkerson. Let's bring Rose on and say hi. Hey, Rose, are you there?
Hey, yes, I am. How are you guys doing?
Hi,
Great.
Rose.
I'm so glad you could join us.
Hi, Rose. Yeah, hi. I just came on quickly to say congratulations on 10 years of being on the air. It's wonderful.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, where did 10 years go?
Right. Time flies.
That's when So, Rose and I do a show, The Doctors Are In, on Fridays, and we're having a lot of fun doing it. We're doing some great topics, a lot of open lines. And yesterday, Rose, I was telling the other hosts and guests on today how I think that was probably our best show ever this past Friday.
Yeah. And we have a lot of people from Florida that call into the show. Maybe it's because it's 5 o'clock in the evening there or something. I don't know.
We get all these Florida calls on, but it's just the Friday show. Anyway, it's crazy. But we had amazing callers, amazing questions, the flow of the information coming. You and I both had great techniques that we put out there, not just for the people calling in, but for everybody listening can take advantage of that. And as I said earlier in the show, you know, after the show today, go in the archive on psychictalk.net and listen to Friday's show. It was just amazing. Fantastic information. The flow, everything was flowing. Plus, we were having fun. The callers were having fun. It was just amazing. Well, I'm glad that you were able to pop on and say hi and help celebrate 10 years of radio.
Yes, and thank you so much. This has been a wonderful experience for me, too, because I told Dax a little secret. I'm thinking about doing a show, but I haven't developed it yet, so it's on my mind. We might get another wonderful show on Psychic Talk Radio out of all of this. It's been a lot of fun to do, and, of course, working with you, Dr. Dax, has been amazing. And so I'm just really grateful to be a part of the team. So, you know, happy 10 years again.
Thanks, Rose. We're glad to have you. And Rose brings an entirely different dimension. You know, it's although she's restudying tarot actually right now. You know, she isn't coming from the angel aspect or the tarot or the numerology aspect of things or even mediumship. She brings an entirely different dimension because she's into things like Vedic mantras and life coaching, spiritual life coaching, and brings a completely different energy. I love it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. You guys have a great show, okay?
All righty. Bye, Rose.
Bye.
Yeah, I knew Rose only had a few minutes because she had to do some other things. But we're all still here, Mary and Maria and Sharona. And anything else anybody wants to chat about in particular before we take some calls or something? Thoughts on, the next 10 years? I don't know. I'm just giddy about having Tarot Today Radio back. I'm just the title. I love
Me
too.
I'm so glad that you're doing this, and I'm really glad, Dax, that you were able to do this today at 2 p.m., which is usually the time when I would have my show, so I would be able to join you. That worked out perfectly, and I'm hoping that, like you said, you're going to continue to have it on Saturdays. And the thing is, I work during the week, so if it's not on the weekends, then I can't participate. So I'm hoping that you'll hold some more tarot parties here and there, so that I can join in with you guys, especially right now while my own show is on hiatus because I'm very busy. But I can always make time if it's on the weekend like this just to jump in and join you for some tarot fun. So I would, like to put that out there. So would love to do that.
Well, I know you're going to be a guest also on Magic Universe. Sharona,
yes.
What's that? What's the topic you and Maria are doing? I forgot it now.
The topic is, because Valentine's Day is coming up, we are going to be talking about love. Yeah, love. It's going to be the love show. Yes. And how to make love potions and, use a little magic to bring in some passion into your life.
Awesome.
That's great.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Maria,
yeah.
We could definitely have you. Oh, go ahead.
All right. I just wanted to ask Sharona a quick question about the love potion thing. Is there such a thing as love potion number 9, like the song? Remember that old song?
Wow.
Are we making that one?
Oh my God.
I do have a recipe for love potion number 9.
She's done. Oh, wow. Awesome.
That's cool.
Love it. It's going to be a fun show. And we'll be talking about romance angels also, so it'll be an interesting show. And of course, we'll be offering up, mini readings. So I expect a lot of callers that day, being that it's just prior to Valentine's Day, and actually the date of the show is Sunday, February 9th, which happens to be my husband and I's first date anniversary, which we celebrate every year besides the wedding anniversary. So it's a special day for me. So definitely a lot of love energy in the air on that day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want to say happy
there
anniversary
you go.
in
Love
advance.
Potion number 9.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
9 is a great number. And let me tell you something.
Is.
Now that we're on the topic of number 9, I pulled a card for the Tarot Guild. I pulled a tarot card and one angel card for the Tarot Guild and the relaunch of the Tarot Today radio show. And I got the 9 of Cups. And when I look at that card, I could just see Dax sitting there with all these cups, all of us cheering him with these gold goblets behind him and saying, yes, Dax, way to go. And Dax feeling very fulfilled, and all of us, being very happy, because that's the energy of the 9 of Cups, is a sense of fulfillment. Yet it's a 9, so it's near completion. It's not total. It's not a 10 where you've completed the cycle and ready to begin again. So it leaves that mystery there. What's ahead? but I'm feeling good things because as that man sits at the Nine of Cups in front of the curtain, what's behind the curtain? But I'm feeling positive vibes because you have all those 9 cups lined up upright, like in a cheering position. And then I also pulled the from my Archangel deck the card Prioritize, Archangel Metatron, which I think is very suitable for this because it's about focusing, on your priorities, getting things organized and motivated, and I think that's perfect for you, Dax, also because I know Archangel Metatron is behind a lot of things that you do, especially with your expertise in numerology, and I know he's always been an archangel that you have looked
Sacred
to.
geometry.
Right, your sacred geometry, yes. So wanted to mention that.
Oh, and I'm glad you brought that up because I was looking at the numerology of the day, and I didn't think of it beforehand, but today's the 19th. 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. New beginnings is the actual numerology of the day. I pulled a card, too, and got the King of Coins for this. And some of the common associations, solid, reliable, respected, dogged determination, consistent nature, resourceful. It just fits in with, Tarot Today Radio. And it's just been very solid and, we're reliable and consistent. And to make it 10 years, you have to be.
Well, Dax, I just want to tell you, congratulate you on that. And with that card of the 9 of Cups that I was talking about, a lot of people call it the wish card. So I'd like you to just take a few seconds and close your eyes and make a wish. And we'll all concentrate with you and help to give energy to your wish and that it will manifest.
Awesome. And my wish is for all the tarot lovers and students, and we have a whole new crop of people coming on board learning tarot these days. We're in a renaissance, and I'm hoping that they'll all join us on the website and make the forums lively and interesting and great conversations, and that the new website, thetarotguild.com, just grows over this year 2020. So by this time, next year 2021, we'll be sitting here doing the same thing, saying, "Wow, look how far it's come in a year."
Awesome.
Absolutely. And I did want to mention that we are going to bring some folks on to Tarot Today Radio. Mary and I'll be interviewing people, and we can definitely squeeze you in there for sure. Have you, one of our first guests and talk tarot.
Awesome.
What's interesting. I also wanted to point out, that if people haven't joined even our Facebook group yet, on Facebook, the Tarot Guild Facebook, that's a good place to start as well. And we also have our Psychic Talk Radio Facebook group, and all our hosts post in there. And I pull a card of the day every day in there. And today the card I pulled was from the Dream Oracle cards by Kelly Sullivan Walden, with artwork by one of my favorites, Rasuli. And the card I pulled for today is a card of ceremony, and the message is honor how far you've come. So it's kind of the perfect card to come up for celebrating a 10-year anniversary. And I would challenge everybody out there to really think about that, that idea of how far each of us have come in our own ways, in our own fields, in the things that we do. And a great way to have your own kind of ceremony, or at least celebration of that, is by connecting with the people that have been there along the way, kind of like we're doing on the air today. And you can see that card of the day and all the posts from our hosts, and by going to Facebook. Psychic Talk Radio group on Facebook. An easy way to get there is psychictalkradio.net/Facebook, and it'll take you right there.
Awesome. Yes. And if you're into tarot, come join us on the Tarot Guild group on Facebook. Great postings on there right now, and it's growing by leaps and bounds. The last couple of days, we've had almost 40 people join the group. It's just amazing. And I did want to mention, considering we're talking about the shows, just real quickly, that we've got 2 shows tomorrow, Wisdom of the Soul with Janice Fuchs, followed by Compassionate Light, Healing, and Guidance with Catherine Hahn. She's going to be talking about living a purpose-filled life. I'll be back on with Dr. Rose, who was just on here saying hi. On Friday, the 24th, we'll be talking about SMART goals versus resolutions for 2020. And then Saturday, January 25th, you and I will be back, Mary, with Tarot Today Radio, and we're going to be doing New Year's readings for everybody. And then Sunday, January 26th, Magic Universe with Sharona, who's on here with us right now, and she's going to be talking about how to receive downloads from Universal Consciousness. So lots of great shows coming up. You'll find them all at psychictalk.net/upcoming. Awesome. Well, we started the show a little late because of the technical problems, so we can go over a couple of minutes here. Ladies, you're all welcome to hang out with us if you want. If you need to go, that's perfectly fine too. But let's try to squeeze in a couple of calls. Remember, if we don't get to your call, because we are running a little long in the tooth here with the show, Catherine will be on tomorrow, Rose and I next Friday, and Mary and I next Saturday. So there's plenty of shows to call in on, and we'll be happy to chat with you and do mini readings and everything. Let's see who's been waiting out there the longest. It looks like area code 780. Caller, are you there?
Yes, I am. Dax, it's Jay calling from Canada. Thanks for taking me on.
Hey,
congratulations
Jay.
on 10 years. 10 years. Wow. Have I been listening for 10 years to your show? Probably.
Oh, my. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. So, yeah, you really changed up your show quite a bit. So you actually manifested what you wanted to do a long time ago, because I was hearing you a while back that you wanted to do something like this. So now it's in form now.
Yeah. Love how that works.
Yeah. Yeah. So welcome to the new year, and thanks for allowing me to be part of the show. Thank you.
Oh, glad you're here, and thanks for the thanks for the congratulations. Absolutely. And anything else you want to chat about, Jay? Any questions or anything else?
No, I do have a question regarding a psychic question, but not a tarot question.
Sure.
Yeah, a tarot question. Yeah. Regarding, I have a financial issue up. It's pretty major. Just wondered how that's going to go. And just wonder what the cards are saying. Thank you. Thanks, Dax. Thanks,
Sure.
Brown.
And anybody that wants to join in, besides Mary and I, Maria or Sharona, if everybody just wants to pull a card for Jay or something like that, we
Thank
could do that. Yeah. I hear people shuffling.
It's probably me. I don't know why. I'm always a loud
Shuffling
shuffler.
stereo.
That's right. So my message real quick, because I pulled cards already, is I got the Will card and the Star card. I mean, you can't get better than that, and the Knight of Wands. I mean, things, it looks like it's definitely headed your direction. But let's see what everybody else is pulling. Who's pulling cards out there wants to say what they got?
Well, this is Mary.
Hey, Mary.
I got a couple cards. Now, this is a financial issue. I do have the Devil